Hey guys, Mike here with Pre-Approve Me, and today I want to talk to you about the real estate hierarchy and how it's a problem for loan officers. And we will discuss like the ideal positioning for the process for where you should live in this hierarchy in relationship to the other people in the transaction. And we'll also discuss the current problems with and the reason why those problems exist in the hierarchy. Now, I will say that we're not going to necessarily get to a solution. The purpose of this video is to sort of outline the problem and then maybe to lead you down a path of discovery so that you guys can go out there and find your own unique solution for it. But I would like to at least kind of air this out and just kind of talk through with you guys the hierarchy as it exists today. So without further ado, let's just start. What you're seeing here is two diagrams built in my amazing, I run a tech company, guys, so I built it in Paint because it's the most advanced presentation software out there. And in the hierarchy, there are actually four separate people involved in the transaction, or four separate types of participants. At the very top of the hierarchy, okay, and I think everyone would agree that without this person, none of the transaction would happen. And no, I'm not talking about mortgages. Okay, I know a lot of you guys, a bunch of my friends and a bunch of our members think that the entire process revolves around the mortgage. But the reality is the process revolves around the borrower, the person who's actually buying the home. So the very beginning, the top is the borrower. Okay. And below the borrower, just beneath them, is the person who controls the product that the process starts with. I've never, in my 15 years in the mortgage industry, heard of a customer entering the process with the dream of making payments for 30 years on a fixed rate mortgage and without them caring what home was connected to it. It always starts with the dream of owning a home, and the loan is a necessary evil to get them in there. So the next person in the hierarchy naturally is going to be the realtor. They control the product that your customer's truly interested in. Below the real estate agent is, of course, the loan officer. Now, I know you guys feel like this whole thing can't happen without us. Now, that's probably true. 90% of the time, a borrower can't buy a house without a mortgage, okay? But that doesn't make it any less of a commodity, okay? Specifically when it comes to real estate agents. There are lots of options to choose from. Every single loan officer out there touts the same low rates, fast turn times, here's some marketing dollars type of service. So what is going to differentiate you from somebody else? And then, of course, below the loan officer, at the bottom of the barrel, these guys have it absolutely the worst, and that is your escrow and your attorneys. They are tap dancing all over the place. They want deals from loan officers. They want your refinances. They want the real estate agents to set title up with them when they start a transaction. And they are just like all over the place, okay? Their lives, as far as where they exist in the hierarchy, they are at the bottom of the barrel, all right? Now, let me talk to you guys about why I believe this is perpetuated from the very top in the real estate offices all over the country, okay? Several years ago, I was in an office meeting, a weekly stand-up, and it's a format where they typically have somebody come and present something unique. It could be an escrow officer, a marketing person, a web design firm, a loan officer. They present something unique, and then the principal broker comes up and kind of gives a rundown of what's happened over the last week, and they ask, is there any, does anyone have any pocket listings we should know about? Any tips? Hey, here's our top producer last week. It's sort of a rah-rah finish, okay? But what happened at the very end, the last 30 seconds of the meeting, blew my mind. This principal broker stood up in front of 100 plus realtors and said these words, and I quote, "If your loan officers are not spending money on your marketing, you need to find a new loan officer." I basically just, I went white in the face. I could not believe what I was hearing, because from the top of this company, pushed down, they blatantly basically said that our value to them only extends as far as our marketing budget. And I know that's not true. Like, I was an advocate, a coach. I help my realtors with lead conversion. I help solve some really unique problems using Pre-Approve Me. But what it shined a light on was the fact that the majority of real estate agents look at loan officers as interchangeable service providers, okay? And they get in their office and they discuss what their loan officers are doing for them. They're spending this money on Zillow. They're doing, they printed out all these flyers for me. And sure, while some of that is good and is maybe required by some realtors, it is not a strong position, okay? It's going to put you in a position of weakness. So what we need to figure out, guys, is how to reposition ourselves in the hierarchy, how to make it so that the transaction really revolves around the person that it should, and that each person connected to the appropriate party, in this case, the borrower or the home buyer, if you're a realtor, that each of the people involved in the transaction from this point, they're working collaboratively to serve our mutual client, okay? And it's no longer, hey, send me a donut, take me to the game, you send me a deal, I'll send you a deal, okay? Now, next week, I'm going to show you guys how Pre-Approve Me can really change this paradigm for you, okay? And it can position you in a way that is going to not only allow you to convert realtors at a much, much higher percentage, but it's also going to drive your realtors, and it drive them to refer you not only to their borrowers but to additional realtors in their office. And there'll be a script at the end of the next video, which will literally be the easiest referral request you ever make. Okay, you will be able to stand up there and say, is there anyone in your office that would appreciate this technology and or value that we're bringing to your business? And unlike when you're just splitting marketing dollars, they will walk you down the hall and introduce you to somebody. Okay, the big shift here, guys, is that if you are only providing marketing dollars and your traditional good service, they're not likely going to go out of their way to introduce you to somebody else. But if you can solve a real problem for them in their business, something that keeps them up at night, something that changes the way their daily routine works, something that appeases or gets rid of the fear that they feel when shopping for customers on the weekends and evenings, you're going to be able to reposition yourself into a much stronger area. So again, here's the new proposed hierarchy. We got realtors, borrowers, and loan officers, and then your escrow officer. All connected, guys. All connected to, again, the person who matters most in the transaction, okay? The borrower. No longer is the crap rolling downhill, so to speak. Okay? No longer is the realtor going to be the only going to be in control of the transaction. That's our goal. That is our goal. Now, one last thought. When it comes to a real estate agent and their relationship with a borrower, it is, in my opinion, important to remember that your realtor partners spend a lot more personal one-on-one time with customers. By the nature of their job, they are going to take that client out into the market. They're going to show them houses. They're talking to their spouses. They know their kids' names. They're probably sharing a meal with them, and they're also discussing not painfully awkward things like finances. They're actually talking about things that matter to them, like the paint colors, like their dream home, like how much land they want, like, how many garages, what are they going to do with those garages? What are your hobbies? Why do you need 4-car garage? These are relationship building opportunities. That's why realtors today, in my opinion, their relationship to the borrower is going to be stronger, and why they remain the number one possible referral source for loan officers. Okay, so let's find out how to position you as the one and only provider, mortgage loan officer for them. Okay, next week, tune in, guys, and we'll talk about how Pre-Approve Me can help you guys solve that problem. Take care.